You've studied English for years. You know the grammar rules, you can read a novel, but the second you open your mouth to speak, something feels off. You sound stiff, formal, like a textbook came to life. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Being correct and sounding natural are two completely different skills. And today, I'm going to show you 10 things almost every advanced English learner gets wrong. Mistakes your teacher never corrected because technically, they're not wrong. They just sound wrong. Stick around till the end, because mistake number 7 is the one that's probably happening in every single conversation you have. Let's fix your English, for real this time.
Hey, welcome to Fluent Tales. If you're new here, this is the channel for people who are past the basics and want to sound like themselves in English, not like a robot reciting rules. Every week, I break down real mistakes, real phrases, and real stories that actually move your English forward. So if that sounds like you, hit subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Let's get into it.
Let me tell you about Elena. Elena studied English for 8 years. She passed every exam. She could explain the difference between the present perfect and the past simple better than most native speakers. But when she moved to London for work, her first week was a disaster. Not because her English was wrong, but because it was technically correct and completely unnatural. She'd say things like, "I am going to the store in order to purchase some milk," when a native speaker would just say, "I'm going to grab some milk." Same meaning, completely different sound. And that gap between correct and natural is exactly what we're closing today. Mistake number 1, overusing formal grammar in casual conversation. You learned "I am going to." Great, that's correct. But in real speech, native speakers almost always contract it. "I'm gonna." Same with "want to" becoming "wanna" and "got to" becoming "gotta." Now, important note, you should not write these in an email or an essay. But in spoken English, using the full formal form every time is actually what makes you sound like you're reading from a script. Quick practice. Say this sentence twice. First, formal. "I am going to call you later." Now, natural. "I'm gonna call you later." Feel the difference? That's the sound of fluency.
Mistake number 2, using big vocabulary instead of natural vocabulary. A lot of advanced learners think fluency means using impressive words. So instead of saying "I'm tired," they say "I am quite fatigued." Technically correct, but it sounds like you swallowed a dictionary. Native speakers usually reach for simple, common words first and save the fancy vocabulary for specific situations. Here are 3 quick swaps. Instead of "I am delighted," just say "I'm so happy" or "I'm thrilled." Instead of "that is not feasible," say "that's not going to work." Instead of "I require assistance," say "I need some help." Simple isn't weak. Simple is natural, and natural is what makes people forget they're even listening to a non-native speaker. Remember Elena? Here's what actually helped her the most. She started collecting what I call glue phrases. These are small expressions that connect your sentences and make you sound relaxed instead of rehearsed. Let's go through 5 of them. Number 1, to be honest, use it to soften an opinion. To be honest, I don't really like that idea. Number 2, use it when you're clarifying or correcting yourself. It's not terrible, just not what I expected. Number 3, you know what I mean? Use it to check if someone's following you. Great at the end of an explanation. Number 4, kind of or sort of. Use it to soften a statement. "I'm kind of tired" sounds much more natural than "I am somewhat fatigued." Number 5, anyway. Use it to change topics or return to a point. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Try adding just one of these into your next conversation. Mistake number 6 is one most learners never even think about: flat intonation. English isn't spoken in a straight line. It goes up and down like music. When learners speak with flat, even stress on every word, it sounds robotic, even if every single word is pronounced correctly.
Try this sentence. I can't believe you did that. If you say every word with equal stress, it sounds confused, almost angry. But native speakers stretch and stress key words. I can't believe you did that. The emotion lives in the melody, not just the words. Here's a fast drill. Pick any sentence you say often and stress just one word louder and longer than the rest. Notice how much more natural and more alive it instantly sounds. And now, mistake number 7, the one I promised you at the beginning. This one isn't about grammar or vocabulary at all. It's over-apologizing before you speak. Watch for this in yourself. Do you start sentences with, sorry, my English isn't very good, but, or sorry if this doesn't make sense? Here's the problem. That sentence trains the listener to expect mistakes before you've even spoken. And it trains your brain to feel nervous every single time you open your mouth. Elena told me the moment her English actually improved wasn't when she learned a new grammar rule. It was the day she stopped apologizing and just spoke, mistakes and all. Confidence isn't the reward for fluency. Confidence is what creates fluency. So here's your challenge. The next time you speak English, skip the apology. Just talk.
Let's speed through the last 3, quickfire style. Mistake 8, saying, how are you, and then not actually listening to the answer. Native speakers often reply with a quick follow-up, like, oh nice, what happened? It shows you're actually engaged. Mistake 9, translating idioms directly from your language. If it sounds strange in English, it probably is. Always double-check common expressions instead of translating word for word. Mistake 10, avoiding phrasal verbs because they feel unpredictable. But phrasal verbs like figure out, run into, and get along with are used constantly in real conversation. Avoiding them is actually what makes you sound more formal, not more correct.
So what happened to Elena? 6 months after focusing on these exact shifts, natural contractions, simple vocabulary, glue phrases, melody, and confidence, coworkers stopped asking, where are you from? And started asking, wait, how long have you lived here? That's the goal. Not perfect English, natural English. Let's do a quick recap. Contractions over formal grammar. Simple words over fancy words. Glue phrases to sound relaxed. Melody, not flat delivery. Confidence over apology. Real listening. No direct idiom translation. And don't be afraid of phrasal verbs. If even one of these hit home for you, let me know which one in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me know exactly what to cover next. And if you want to keep building real, natural English with me, hit subscribe right now, because next week I'm breaking down the 5 phrases native speakers use to sound confident in any conversation, even ones they're nervous about. I'm Jane Ain, this is Fluent Tales, and I'll see you in the next one.